So welcome to Cooking with Coral Ann. Today we're going to do eggplant parmesan. You're going to need an 8 by 11 sheet pan, a nice cup of tea, and we'll start by cutting 2 eggplants a 1/4 inch thick with the skin on. The more the merrier. This is a great seconds type meal. You'll want to soak the eggplant in salt water to leach the bitterness. I like to put a plate on top to make sure that all pieces are getting soaked. You're going to need a 1/2 gallon of milk. I add granulated garlic powder to mine to really get a rich, creamy taste inside that eggplant. 4 to 6 eggs, whipped. All-purpose flour, 2 cups. Italian-style breadcrumbs, 16 ounces, so a full can. And you're going to need some extra virgin olive oil. And after the eggplant has been soaking in the salt water for an hour, you can begin to squeeze the eggplant as much as you possibly can, the water out, and soak it in the milk for 5 to 10 minutes for each round. Really gets that creaminess. Goes from the milk into the flour, and from the flour into the eggs, from the eggs into the breadcrumbs, and then you're going to want to make sure your oil is up to temp when you put it in there. I don't deep fry, I flat fry, so it'll be one side 2 to 3 minutes and flip. You're looking for a golden brown but crunchy edge to it. That's what makes this recipe amazing, is the crunch to the eggplant. I try to not overload the oil with too many pieces, so it's definitely time consuming but well worth it. Once you get that golden brown texture, you're going to take them out, try to drop all the oil as you can in the pan since it's so expensive. And then butter your 8.5 by 11 sheet pan. And then we'll begin taking the cooked eggplant after lightly salted and layering it in the pan. There will be negative spaces, don't worry about it. That's what makes the recipe great. About a tablespoon of sauce on every piece, so not that much sauce. Don't over sauce it, or else you'll have a pile of mush. I like to use 2 containers of buffalo mozzarella, and I cut it into cubes so that I get more out of it than what usually comes. And I like to lightly cheese because every layer gets cheese, so don't forget, there's more layers. And this is a continual process, so I'm always managing what's going on the stove as well as what I'm doing on the other side of the corner. It is constant reheating of new oil. You'll probably end up using about a quart of olive oil. And you should end up with 3 to 4 layers of the eggplant, sauce, and mozzarella. It's definitely the multitasker's meal. And that's our last layer. We're just going to lay some red sauce on top, our typical mozzarella, and then we'll put some Parmesan oregano. Oh, we have one more layer. And I find that the Parmesan really gets that salty and creates that cheesy, crunchy, cheesy top. So it's a very important addition to this recipe. I'm going to throw it in the oven for 35 minutes at 350 degrees. While it's cooking, I like to do all the dishes because it does contain a lot of dishes. That brown water you see is the bitterness of the eggplant. The soaked eggplant in the milk is always savable for eggs or sauteing. The bitterness is gone, so using that milk-rich eggplant is a great idea. And then it should come out nice, perfect brown. 35 minutes later, grab a beer, a good slice of eggplant parmesan, and you got yourself a meal. Clean plate club. And you can have it for seconds forever. Thanks for joining Cooking with Coraline. I'll hope to see you soon.